Moving along swiftly to the heroes of last weekend.
Who were they?
Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace. You gotta admire what
Vieira's done.
Vieira's doing there. Eh?
Yeah, for sure.
You can't help it but cheer for the guy.
Look, they don't have a bad squad either, Crystal Palace. They really don't, you know, in terms of a sort of like mid-table team.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I just always find when making predictions, find like Wolves just, I don't know, the toughest team to...
If I told you that these teams have not lost in the Premier League in the last collective 10 games, would you believe that?
I wouldn't have, but...
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Though Crystal Palace tend to kiss their sister a lot.
No, they're Crystal Palace, so how many draws are they this...
Well, they've had four in the last 5 Premier League games.
Yeah, so they're 6 draws out of their 10 games as well.
Yeah.
Wolves only 1 draw though.
Yeah.
That means they've been winning.
They've had a soft schedule. I mean, Everton, I think I would have, I'm not sure, maybe I picked Wolves last week.
I think you did, yeah.
Yeah. Everton just looked a shell of themselves.
I think you've got to back Crystal Palace's form and the fact that they're at home in a game like this, you know. If you did want to bet on it, I would go draw Crystal Palace just to cover yourself, because I think it's teams of equal sort of stature. But for the sake of a prediction, I'm gonna do a 2-1 home victory to Crystal Palace.
Yeah, I like 2-1 as well.
Yeah, a couple more injuries to Wolves than there are to Palace as well.
Yeah.
So that's always going to play a role when you've got some front players out.
Good to see another London team doing well.
Brighton and Newcastle.
I can't see anybody. I can't see. Welbeck's still out, huh?
Yeah. Do you see Newcastle winning a game though?
Not
before Christmas.
Not until the Arabians plow money into that club, And Brighton were great at home, been great start to the season, which has been sort of which the shine's been taken off that a little bit, but they're still in 8th place.
I'm gonna go 1-0 to Brighton.
Yeah, they'll have gotten a lot of confidence out of that too. But they're also the same team that drew with Norwich. Yeah? So they can draw with the top and the bottom. I'm going to go with a draw in this game as well.
Okay.
1-1.
1-1.
Yeah.
Right. Should be a good game. Everton Spurs.
Yeah, should be. I guess it depends on how the team responds to Nunez's departure.
Yeah.
And I can't see it being anything but better than what we've seen so far.
Exactly. Yeah.
They've looked terrible at times this year.
Sluggish.
Look completely disinterested. So anything. I hate to say this, but how does it get worse for Tottenham?
Yeah.
It's been so bad. The team chemistry, they've been lifeless. The guys haven't been playing for their coach. There's no doubt about that. So I think that Tottenham in with a shout, especially when you look at Everton's recent run of form. Losing to West Ham, Watford, and Wolves. They can be glad that Tottenham doesn't begin with a W, because they don't seem to be able to beat teams that begin with W.
Yeah.
You've got 2 bad teams, 2 out of 4.
I mean, you got 9th and 10th place as well playing each other,
Yeah. How Tottenham's in 10th place is beyond me.
So I think Spurs are in 9th. Everton are sitting on 10th. But yeah, regardless, they're not a number 9 team. They shouldn't have Brighton ahead of them, shouldn't have Wolves ahead of them.
No, the last couple of games they've played in the FA Cup 4-4 before going to extra time. 2-2 at Everton. So the Everton fixture does tend to throw up some goals.
Yeah. I think Spurs will respond well.
I do too. I think that Spurs, you can't get any worse than they've been. Everton's has lost 3 on the trot. Haven't won in 4. Haven't won in 5. Sorry, won 1 in 5. And I think that you're right. I think Conte will get more out of Kane.
I think it's going to be a 3-1 to Spurs.
I'm going to say 2-1 to Spurs.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to look to make a bet, I think over 2.5 goals is a decent shout for that game.
And then we have Leeds Leicester.
Over 2.5 is a good shot for that game too. I think definitely both teams to score. Neither particularly sound defensively, both with the capacity to score. But look, Leicester haven't been fantastic, but Leeds have been really poor.
Look, Leicester looked terrible against Arsenal.
Yeah.
For the first half, because they were nowhere, and quickly went down 2-0. Leeds have looked terrible all season, and I haven't seen. I mean, they got a win against Norwich, but who doesn't beat Norwich?
Yeah.
They had a win against Norwich. I think Leicester will win this game 2-0 or 3-1.
Yeah. No, I'm in agreement there. I think 2-1.
Leeds have just been off the pace this year. They whatever they're doing, it's not what they did last year.
Yeah.
And they didn't really add or buy anybody, did they?
Who, Leeds?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing, is you kind of like, to avoid that second season syndrome, you need to make some signings, and they didn't. Yeah. And you also got to think, is their manager the kind of guy that does that though? And I don't think so. Goes out and sort of secures a bigger name player for his team.
No, he brings in players and makes them better.
Yeah.
Rather than bringing good players. That's been the way his management is. And I'm so grateful for him for getting us this far.
Yeah.
And I think he'll keep us up. But it'll be interesting with everybody stacking up for 17th and 18th position.
Yeah, for sure.
Arsenal versus Watford.
I mean, Arsenal they stumbled at the start of the season, and they've actually been, really sound. In their last couple of games, I think they're sitting, 6th on the table now.
Well, they're knocking on heaven's door, aren't they?
Yeah.
The European places.
Haven't lost in the last 5. Won their last 2. And they're playing Watford, who are sitting 16th on the table and have won 1 of their last 5, So logic says this should be a straight Arsenal win. Premier League says you can never, count on that. But I think they should win comfortably. They're at home. I'm going to say 2-0 to Arsenal.
2-0 to Arsenal. Yeah. Arsenal look great against them.
Leicester?
And they've looked good. They've looked good. They've looked good in their last. They've won 4 of the last 5 with a draw. Fair play to them. I mean, the pressure was on Nicholas, on Arteta.
Yeah.
Straight out of the gate, and I can't see them tripping up against Watford. Watford aren't a good side. And they will be sucked into the relegation zone, as will Leeds. But I'm going to go with a 3-0 Arsenal. Arsenal will emphatically beat them. The next game, which Liverpool, West Ham versus Liverpool.
Definitely one of the, I would say, after United City, for me, best game of the weekend.
I'm looking forward to this more. I think the way that West Ham are playing their football, Moyes has, had a lease on life. The way he managed Everton before his debacle with his fiasco with Man United, and the way that he's reinvented himself with West Ham is just fantastic.
No, they're a great team to watch, and they've got a good squad. You look at the players there, and their top players are performing week in, week out to sort of keep them at the spot they're at. They're sitting 5th on the table.
Well, to go to Aston Villa, even though Aston Villa is a lower end team, and it's a tough place to play.
Yeah.
And they went there and absolutely bitch slapped them.
Yeah, 4 goals.
It wasn't even close. So to play at home against Liverpool.
Look, I think it's hard to go against Liverpool's sort of like scoring capacity and just how good they've been, regardless of their competition. I mean, like Chelsea have conceded 3 goals this Premier League season. 2 of those were against Liverpool. So it's like regardless who they play, they're scoring goals, but equally West Ham have shown that capability too, you know. And I could very easily see this being like a 3-2 to Liverpool.
Yeah. Well, you know, the last time they beat them in the league was 5 years ago, West Ham.
Yeah.
You know, and the last results, you know, 3-1 Liverpool, 2-1, 3-2, 2-0. Yeah, got a 4-0 in there, a 4-1.
High scoring games, you know.
Yeah, and these two teams are explosive teams.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that the reason that I say, you know, 3-2 is that Liverpool press high, Liverpool attack, and but they do leave themselves open to teams that have, for lack of a better word, the balls to sort of counter-attack them. I mean, you look at the game against Atletico last night. Atletico play anti-football, so Liverpool were never really put in dangerous positions.
Was there a handshake last night?
Was there a handshake? I had to leave. I had to leave 10 minutes before the end of the game because of curfew. So I didn't see the end. I didn't see the handshake. But red card for Atletico. I'm not sure if you saw that. Guy's second yellow, ignoring the ref. But yeah, so for me, a team like West Ham is going to be looking to capitalize on how open Liverpool leave themselves, you know. And Liverpool sort of do it week in, week out. It's a little bit like, you know, the Springboks with their kind of bombing the ball up. It's like we're going to tell teams what we're going to do, and you know we're going to do it, but we're just going to do it so well that we sort of beat you every time. But I'm kind of meandering around the point here, as I think West Ham have the capability to come back and score 2 goals potentially against an open Liverpool midfield. But I think Liverpool...
That's Liverpool's weakness right now, isn't it? Sort of a lack of depth or so many injuries to the midfield.
Yeah, I think just also not quite knowing exactly where they stand in the midfield. I mean, Ox has been really good. It's nice to see him getting a good run. He was great against Atletico last night. But yeah, getting this exposed defensively down the middle, and then sort of on the wings at times when you've got their wing backs pressing up. I still think Liverpool will be too good to win, and I don't think you bet against a team that's playing as well as they do. So for me, it's a 3-2 to Liverpool.
Yeah, I can't argue with you, but I'm going to bet for West Ham.
For West Ham?
I just got a feeling, you know, that the midweek game against Atletico Madrid, they're falling off against Brighton. You know, there's always a bit of a lull after such an emotional game against a Manchester United. But I just think that some of the lack of depth in that squad, or the injuries to a certain specific position, are going to catch up with them. And I just love the way West Ham play.
Yeah.
I see them winning this game 3-2, squeaking one out in the last minute.
Okay. Converse bets there.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's... I've no doubt the Sheikhs will be all over and picking the easy one, but and that's yeah. So any bet that you see that has value for people out there?
I've put down a multi-bet here. It's 4 legs.
Yeah.
So I've got United and City to both score, which is in contrast to what you're thinking. But I've got both of them to score, combined with Spurs to win, combined with Leeds and Leicester to both score, combined with Liverpool to win. Gives odds of 10.82, so just 100 Rand there, pays back 1,081.
Nice.